Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at the tropics. To start off, let's look at what's currently going on. To start off, in the eastern Pacific, we have Tropical Storm Javier, which may intensify more. Then we have Inest 93E, which is a high chance of forming. As you can see, we have marked 80% chance of forming into a tropical cyclone. Now, looking at the North Atlantic, we have a 50% wave that could form. The NHG thinks it will have a higher chance of forming, but I still believe it has a medium chance of forming rather than the high chance. Inest 94L will not form, and Hurricane Danielle is active in the subtropical Atlantic, but is not expected to impact any land areas, maybe besides a very unlikely chance that it will impact the Azores. Then I'm tracking a wave that I gave a 10% chance of forming. It is somewhere between 0 and 10%, not 0, but I decided to go with 10%, but it has a very low chance of forming nonetheless. Then we have the remnants of the tropical storm from yesterday, and yeah, it's going into more unfavorable conditions. Typhoon Hinnamnor is now a Category 1, and yeah, it could intensify a little bit. However, it will likely not reach another peak as strong as it was yesterday. So yeah, weaker, but we still need to be on guard for the potential impacts that could come with this system. Alright, now looking at the second part of our video, let's start in the North Atlantic. We have Hurricane Danielle, which is a Category 1, still intensifying, could become a Category 2. Then we have one of our Inest that has a 70% chance of forming. When I mean 70-70, I say 48 hours. 70% chance in 5 days, 70%, but this is the NHG's opinion. And then the other Inest has a 0% chance of forming. The other wave is not yet marked. That is about to come off of Africa. The Eastern Pacific, Javier has the potential to impact Baja California a little bit before moving out to sea. Some tropical depression winds are possible, as you can see, but the NHG does not think any tropical storm force winds will really impact land, maybe besides a few coastal areas potentially getting impacted with closer to gale force winds. Alright, now looking at the Central Pacific, nothing else forming, but looking at the NHG cone for Danielle is expected to become a hurricane throughout the entire period here, and it has a large, small cone, and it is not expected to move too much, which is allowing for some intensification because it is currently in pretty favorable conditions, and the waters are not too cold. But yeah. Alright, Joint Typhoon Warning Center, we see Typhoon Hinnamnor. It has completely, how should I put it? It is consumed Tropical Depression 13. It was flung around it, and the typhoon absorbed it, and now it is weakened due to the stalling, and it is weakened even more. Now it's 75 knots according to the GTWC. So we'll be having to watch for that. Really been losing its convection here. Alright, now looking at the JMA, you can see its forecast cone is expecting a South Korean landfall. However, impacts in Japan are still expected. This is not a small storm. The wind field is rather large, even though it is a typhoon, lower end typhoon, a Category 1 currently. Now looking at tropical tidbits, let's look at current storms. We have the two Inests in the Atlantic, the Inest in the Pacific, Hinnamnor, Javier, and Danielle. So you can see 3 active tropical cyclones. Intensity guidance for tropical, now Hurricane Danielle may be intensifying to a stronger high-end Category 1. But yeah, we'll be having to watch for that. Looking at Javier, it only has so much time left before it weakens. So it is formed, but now it is moving to the north and west, so it's expected to fizzle out over time. Now looking at Hinnamnor, the consensus is that it is expected to move in between South Korea and Japan. However, it could make landfall on one of them. So we'll be having to watch for that. Alright, now looking at, you can see all the satellite imagery here. Go to tropicaltidbits.com to analyze it more. Anyway, let's look at the North Atlantic and see what the GFS spins up. It shows Danielle strengthening, and a potential system forming around days 4 and 5, with the Invest and then the wave coming off of Africa not really forming too much. That's why I've only given it a 10%, and I might drop it altogether the next time I create a video. But we do see some systems trying to form out of the Gulf of Mexico and off the coast of, well, the East Coast. Now looking at the Eastern Pacific, what the GFS tries to spin up, it shows a very powerful system from the Invest, impacting Mexico, the Baja California area, and then another wave after it. We'll see if that will come to fruition. And then in the Western Pacific, we just see Hinnamnor moving up to South Korea, shows it becoming very much stronger again, but then some waves coming after that, potentially impacting Japan. So we'll be watching for that. Now looking at the European model, it shows Hinnamnor strengthening a little bit, and then some potential waves after that. Looking in the Eastern Pacific for the European, we see Javier dying off, and then the potential system forming, likely forming and impacting the Baja California area potentially, and then nothing else it's showing. And then finally for the North Atlantic, we see Danielle strengthening a little bit before dying off. We see a potential system from the the one Invest, the other Invest will die off, and then a potential system forming from the one just coming off the African coast soon. But yeah, nothing else really going on besides those systems. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.